All right, so I've got a Super Stopper brake kit here. This is going to be for Keith's car. A while ago we had the chrome front end. I put it on already. We've got the rear end, so we'll get that welded up and painted, and this thing is about ready to assemble. We got some of these other ones we got to get done. We got the kernel, got wood and stuff put in there. We need to get Eddie down here. I think next week the focus is going to be on Phantom Pete though. And then I'm really getting kind of excited about getting the paint or the chrome system going. I talked to the company again. We've got materials coming, and then we can get instruction from once we. It's kind of like a buy-in. You got to buy into the company, and then you get instructions on how to use it. So the product looks really good. So I'm excited about having that become the Midas touch all the way around. A lot of chrome, but it's going to be a lot more brass now instead of chrome. We got the windshield and all that stuff. We can do that. So the goal is to get that by Christmas. Santa Claus is coming, so maybe he can give us a hand when he gets here. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and assemble a Super Stopper brake kit. All right, so the left side's going to get a slingshot arm on the top of the spindle, steering arm on the bottom. Make sure that you get the, when you put the bracket, this whole plate here is a bracket for your caliper. The caliper right there will go on it. It goes back to the back upper third. I guess that'd be the best way to describe it. Well, I'll show you anyway. Anyway, the holes go through here. So I got all my tools ready. This will go through here. This will bolt into the steering arm. Top one will bolt into the slingshot arm. On the other side, we're just going to have a slingshot or a steering arm on the bottom, and then we'll have a bolt with a nut, lock nut on top. Again, make sure you put your, we got it, here it is right here. Put a little bit of red Loctite on it, and we're good to go. So let me get these parts together. So your left side spindle is going to have slingshot arm up on top, steering arm on the bottom, and then it's going to be, steering is going to go down along the side to a Vega box. You can see the, right about there is going to be where your box is. So then there'll be a rod that goes from there to the top over here to the steering slingshot arm, and that's what will steer it. And then your drag link will go from this steering arm to the other side. So we'll go ahead and put the other side together now. And again, make sure you put your Loctite on. All right, so there's the back side of a left and a right spindle with the Super Stopper bracket on there. Looks pretty nice. So I think I'll throw them on the axle now, have them off the table. Then I need to go ahead and put the rotors onto the hub. They bolt down to it. They just bolt onto the hub there. So when you put your kingpin on, there's a bearing that goes on the bottom. Slide the kingpin in, there's a notch here. And you can see on the boss on the axle that there's gonna be a little Allen to set it in. So make sure those two are lined up. So when it pushes down, you can tighten up that Allen and your kingpin don't come out. So push it all the way down, make sure you get it through this bearing on the bottom. And that's about all there is to putting a kingpin on. All right, now that I got the spindles together and on the core, on the axle, I can go ahead and take the hubs now and bolt the rotor to the hub. Pretty basic. Just put it on there, line them up. Got all the bolts here. Again, I'm going to use some Loctite, make sure they don't come off. I got all the Allen bolts put in. Nice and tight. Again, Loctite it in. So I got now it's time to put some grease in the bearings. So we'll do that, and then we can put the hubs on. Once you get the bearings packed, put the seals on, and then we'll pack the outer bearings, and it's ready to go on. All right, it doesn't look like they have spindle nuts in the kit, but it does have a nice aluminum cap there to go on it. Threw the caliper on. Got the 2-piston caliper. and it just bolts on. You can kind of see, just bolt on into the plate. So I'll get those bolted on and we can take a look at what it looks like. All right, so we did just talk to Pete and Jakes, and the spindle nuts come with it, but they forgot to put them in. So pretty much, Super Stopper brakes. It's out of the boxes and onto the car. So with some spindle nuts and a little more tightening, front end is just about done on bad to the bone. So I think I'll go check on what the boys are up to, give Tim a call, and see how they're doing on the buffing.